ShotokuTech News of the Week, bringing you news stories that you might have missed because there were other news stories. You're watching Snot Dub, or ShotokuTech News of the Week, 18 April 2020 edition. Because I haven't touched my face for weeks, Krakatoa erupts again. This volcano triggered a deadly tsunami in 2018 in Sumatra and Java, killing 430 people, but it's exploding again. The volcano's a quarter of its size after 2018, so it's less likely to trigger a tsunami. Or at least the tsunami would be far less severe. Apparently, monkeys made their way from Africa to South America at least twice. Paleontologists have examined two lineages of ancient monkeys, and they aren't sure how they appeared in two places, Africa and South America. Fossilized teeth, which are like fingerprints to paleontologists, indicate that these monkeys may have migrated to or from South America. Mammalian teeth are extremely diverse in shape, so for paleontologists are almost like fingerprints that sometimes allow us to identify species from a single tooth or even a partial tooth. These parapithecid fossils have been discovered in South America. So these were extinct African monkeys called parapithecids, also appear in South America. Both lineages are thought to have crossed the ocean on a large raft of floating vegetation. Well, this is interesting. Apparently, everybody is staying at home. Crime is dropping around the world. So, thank you for staying at home. Obviously, if you were out and about on some nefarious activity, you wouldn't be able to blend in because everybody else is home, so you pretty much stand out. Drug arrests have plummeted 42% in Chicago. Overall, crime has declined 10% after the pandemic struck, again in Chicago. Of course, there's always the potential of unreported domestic violence, so please keep a calm head and try to give each other some space here and there. Yeah, there's reports here worldwide. I'm just scrolling through worldwide. South Africa, South America, Central America. Well, I guess there's some good in all of this. Let's please be kind to each other and be kind to yourselves. Thank you. So, while we were asleep early Friday morning, Mercury-bound BepiColombo spacecraft flew past the Earth. This BepiColombo spacecraft is the European Space Agency's mission to visit Mercury, and it's going to do flybys of several planets to arrive at Mercury. This pass around Earth directs it more towards the Sun, and it flew past the Earth at an altitude of 12,700 kilometers, as it snapped black and white photos of the Earth as it went by. It's going to fly past Venus twice and past Mercury itself 6 times. The probe is named after the Italian mathematician and engineer Giuseppe BepiColombo, who devised the use of planetary flybys for approaches to Mercury. He died in 1984, so this is essentially playing out his entire plan. And this spacecraft actually consists of 2 orbiters that will be studying Mercury, which has really been underexplored. Best wishes. April 13 is the anniversary of the Apollo spacecraft, the Apollo 13 spacecraft mishap, where an exploded oxygen tank spoiled the mission to the moon. They continued on around the moon and came back and landed on the 17th of April. This is a picture of the damage of that spacecraft. It was truly miraculous that they were able to recover from this and return to Earth safely. So apparently grass burning is a popular thing in the Ukraine, but unfortunately this fire's been burning since the 4th of April, and it's becoming dangerously close to the Chernobyl nuclear power plant and a disposal site for radioactive waste. The government's still saying everything's going to be just fine. Folks have observed, though, that near the blaze, radiation is 16 times higher than normal. So this is going to be one to watch. Talk about big brains. You would think this headline is good news, but as it turns out, as astronauts' brains increase in volume after long space flights, it causes pressure to build up inside their heads and can affect their vision. Doctors think that it's pressing on their optic nerve. They found increased brain volume, including white matter, gray matter, and cerebrospinal fluid around the brain after returning from space. It's thought that normal gravity helps keep the fluid levels moving downward, and there's some evidence that microgravity prevents this, resulting in accumulation of fluid in the brain and skull. The astronauts' brain volume increases by up to 2% on average. They suspect that this is pressing on the optic nerve, affecting vision. The pituitary gland was also deformed in 6 out of 11 astronauts. Brain structure can be altered after spaceflight. They're working on methods to counteract these changes by using artificial gravity, anything to pull blood back towards the feet. I know I shared some other virtual tours previously, so here's some new virtual tours for you. 5,000-year-old Egyptian tomb opens for a virtual tour. And this is the tomb of Queen Meresank III. It looks like this, so you can kind of maneuver through here and click on things. Also, you can check out the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities on Facebook, as they have several videos posted there of virtual tours. I've also posted a link in the comments below, virtual tour of Pompeii. I couldn't display it here because when I switched to reader mode, I got an article about King Tut instead. So there's what the Pompeii tour would look like. So check out some of these virtual tours. So the operators of the Mars rover from NASA are working from home, so I imagine they have some pretty cool Zoom backgrounds. But anyway, they don't have the fancy equipment that they need to maneuver the rover, special goggles that toggle from the right to the left so that they can see clearly where they're going. So they've actually hacked it by using inexpensive 3D glasses, the red-blue glasses instead. And they have special matte cam vision help study 3D images so they can determine where they're going to go. These help them collect and study the most scientifically interesting targets. But the goggles require the use of graphics cards on powerful computers, and they don't have those at home, so they're using red-blue 3D glasses. And just like anything else related to NASA, they figure it out. All right, keep looking up. Okay, everyone, get out your Swiffer. The Earth is way dustier than we thought, and it may be a problem for climate change. Dust in the upper atmosphere interacts with clouds, oceans, and even radiation. It can affect the weather, precipitation, and it has an impact on climate change. And there are more than one type of dust in the Earth's atmosphere. There's fine dust easily picked up by winds, and then there's coarser dust grains, often from desert regions, and they can actually contribute to global warming. Large, coarse particles absorb radiation coming in from the sun, trapping the radiation on our planet. Researchers analyzed dozens of dust observations made by aircraft, and while climate models predict only about 4 million metric tons, the team found there's closer to 17 metric tons of dust in our atmosphere. All right, get out your Swiffer. Thank you for watching Snot Dub, or ShotokuTech News of the Week. Can someone please touch my face?